Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about my journey to sustainable health and meaningful success. If you're coming back and you've already subscribed, welcome back. Y'all are my people, my squad, and I love you so much. And if you're new, a little bit about me. I became a certified health and life coach after failing miserably multiple times on fad diets and get-rich-quick schemes. So I don't have my life perfect, like at all. But if you want to join me toward like a realistic approach to recovery and growth, then I would hope that you would consider hitting that subscribe button and continue watching. So today I have a lot of sass. I am sorry, but I have literally been ranting about this to my mother for like the last 30 minutes. And now I'm just going to take it on to you guys because I feel very strongly about this. You know what I'm going to talk about in the title, but first of all, I just want to say this, that I realize that I am a self-help junkie, okay? I cannot get enough. And it may stem from like deep issues that I'm working on in therapy where I constantly need to fix myself. And I buy whatever book promises to give me the key to what I've been missing, the missing puzzle piece of my life that's going to make me feel whole. And so I buy all of these books, I listen to all the advice, and I fell into a very deep pyramid scheme cult. I have a whole playlist on multi-level marketing. I was in a multi-level marketing company called Amway. Leadership team development was like the subgroup of that. Lost $20,000, lost all my friends, injured many members of my family, deteriorated my health, got to a point where I was like 350 pounds. And yeah, it was really bad. So I am pissed. I'm pissed at myself and I'm pissed at all the quacks that I have listened to. So today we're going to talk about quacks, including but not limited to Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. So first I want to start off by saying, there is one book on my bookshelf. Well, now it's not on my bookshelf because it's in my hands, but the one book on my bookshelf that when I'm feeling low and I'm feeling like, am I ever really going to succeed? This one book always inspires me. And it is this book right here. And it is not for the reason you might think. It's not because it gave me profound wisdom. It's not because it gave me motivation and gave me the missing puzzle piece to what I needed to do to move myself forward. No. The reason why I love this book is because every time I look at it, I think if someone can write 250 pages of absolute drivel and make it to the #1 New York Times bestsellers list, then I can do anything. And this is the kind of energy that I am approaching this topic today because I've invested so much money in myself, in all of these different quacks who tell me that they're gonna, provide me the secret to success. And so today we're gonna talk about Robert Kiyosaki. Here's the thing. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, okay? This was another, bestseller business book. Like everybody is going crazy over it. They think it's like amazing, whatever. I think it was more for the generation prior to me because I think millennials are more, they tend to like be familiar with the title Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but not actually know or have read the book. So when you say like, oh yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you automatically think, oh yeah, credible book, right? Well, I'm not actually going to get into the contents of the book because I think he might say some interesting stuff about like investing and about corporations and tax evasion. basically how to cheat the system and find loopholes to afford your lifestyle by being incorporated. So it's been a while since I've actually read the book, but I was listening to an Amway audio because sometimes I like to really torture myself. And the audio was called Password Protected. And the guy basically said that in order for someone to have access to your mind, your mental real estate, they have to have the password. You have to have your mentality on lockdown, password protected. Only the people who have the results that you want can actually speak in your life and actually like give you advice on what you should do. On the surface, this seems like an interesting and like an actual applicable idea. But we're going to talk about like why we need to look into that further. But they use the term, look at the fruit on the tree. So if you want to see the value of the person's advice, look at the fruit on the tree. And if they are producing the fruit that you want, then you should listen to their advice. It kind of makes sense. That's the whole concept behind the title Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's why I like immediately thought about this book when I heard this whole password protected kind of look on the fruit of the tree on the tree is the rich dad poor dad analogy is drawing a parallel between how Robert Kiyosaki, his biological father, was his poor dad, the guy who went to school and got a good job and did everything like buying a car and a house and thought that those things were assets when really they were liabilities, and how, you know, he had a subpar understanding of wealth building, and he believed that college was the way to succeed and build any sort of, you know, financial future for yourself. And that was the mentality of his poor dad. And he needed only to take one look at his poor dad's lifestyle to see that that's not the kind of lifestyle that he wanted. And so that's not the information, or that's not the advice he should have taken. Whereas his rich dad was his friend's dad, who owned his own company and, you know, was really financially successful. So Robert Kiyosaki wrote that whole premise of Rich Dad Poor Dad as, who do you take advice from financially? You have to look at the fruit on the tree. You have to look at the results that these people have in their lives. And with like multi-level marketing, they talk about that all the time, where it's like, yeah, it's like, they say like, I work like others don't so I could live like others can't, or whatever that phrase is. Or I'll do what others won't so I can live like they can't. I don't know. But it's basically like, if you are going to succeed in multi-level marketing, then why would you take advice from someone who's not in multi-level marketing? If you're going to succeed in Amway, then who should you be taking advice from? The people who are above you in Amway who make a lot of money, or people outside of Amway who are telling you that Amway is not a good idea and that multi-level marketing is a pyramid scheme? You know, you should look at the fruit on the tree and decide for yourself who you should listen to. So, first of all, just to kind of move on from this whole rich dad, poor dad thing, because like I said, I'm not going to go into the depths of the book, but here's what I am living for the irony of this book. Because the same guy who says, don't listen to someone who doesn't have success in the actual industry or in the actual like area of life that you want to have success in, also wrote the book, The Business of the 21st Century, where he was... He writes a whole book on the multi-level marketing industry and how it's so great and how you can succeed, and admits himself that he himself has not made a cent in multi-level marketing. So, are we not seeing the irony here? People will write whatever they can to make $1. That it's just the fact, you know? Be inspired. Just... I'm not saying that Robert Kiyosaki doesn't know anything about anything. I'm just saying make it make sense. Just think about it. Ask more questions. You know what I'm saying? Here's an analogy. I'm sorry that this video is going to have no organization whatsoever. Yeah, it is what it is. But here's the analogy that I was thinking about with rich dad, poor dad, right? Have you guys ever seen the movie It's a Wonderful Life? It's like an older movie. It's around Christmas time. I'm not going to tell you the whole plot, but if you have not seen it, you should watch it. It's like a really good, heartwarming movie about valuing yourself and valuing life and the beauties of life, even though, you know, sometimes the circumstances get muddy. So anyway, but if you've seen the movie, you know that there is George Bailey, who is the main character, and he grows up with his father, Peter Bailey, who in this case would be considered the poor dad, because Peter Bailey is really generous and he never has a lot of money to show for it, but he helps other people with the building and loan and helps other people get on their feet. So very generous, but not really business savvy. Whereas you have Mr. Potter, the rich dad, who has all of this money and he always just seems to like own every business. And the one business that he can't get his hands on is the building and loan from Peter Bailey, because Peter Bailey is fighting for the people. Now, the moral dilemma that George Bailey is put in is that he gets to a point where he really needs money, and he either has to choose the values and principles that he learned from his own biological father, Peter Bailey, or he can accept this job from Mr. Potter and get this like really high pay raise and be living in the lap of luxury, but he has to be able to give up all that his poor dad had built. And throughout the movie, you see how that actually plays out. What is the result of, or what would be the result if Mr. Potter had control of everything, including the building and loan? And we see that even though George Bailey may have had a really wealthy lifestyle, may have been able to afford going on vacations and traveling like he always wanted to, you actually see at what cost the entire town is taken over by the greedy, manipulative, just money-hungry drive of Mr. Potter. So you could look at the fruit on the tree as who actually has more money. And if you want to have money, who are you going to listen to? But when you actually look further into it, number one, you see that, yeah, you might be able to make money, but at what cost? At what cost, and to how many other people would have to suffer, or how many other people will you have to step on the backs of in order to get to the top? And that's very evident in multi-level marketing, that because only the top few percent, if that, actually makes money and the rest don't make money or lose money, you can see that, yeah, you might make it to the top. And just because there are people at the top doesn't mean that they haven't sold out a ton of people in order to get there and exploited a ton of people in order to make that kind of financial success. Number two, do we really think that Mr. Potter, do we really think that the rich dad was actually invested personally in the growth and the well-being of George Bailey? Hell no. Hell no. Okay? Because most of the people who make a lot of money doing shady things, they just care about making their own money. Okay? So it's a little bit nonsensical. And this is why I'm feeling a certain way, is because I've fallen for this so many different times in so many different ways. Like I said, fad diets, get rich quick schemes, I was all about it. And so to then listen to this guy who's going to be like, you should give me all your money. I have a lot of money and you should give it to me. And then I'll tell you how to make a lot of money. But first you have to give me all your money. And then I'll show you how I made all my money. Make it make sense. How did I fall for that? I'm sorry. This is what? Give me all your money. Let me budget out all of your income. Let me have control of your whole life. And then I will mentor you and show you how I made all of my money. It makes me very, very angry. Makes me very angry. Also, okay, so all right, I have a few things, but number one, here's the main point of this video that I wish I would have said a little bit earlier, but here's what I really would suggest, because we're talking about realistic recovery and growth. That's where we're going for sustainable health and meaningful success, right? In terms of mentorship and in terms of making life decisions and like being very informed about the decisions that you're making in your life, having all of your trust and putting all of your eggs in one basket in terms of like one person's mentorship, especially if they're asking you for money, like just give me all your money and I'll help you sort your life out, is very dangerous. And you risk falling into the same trap I did. I mean, I lost literally all of my money, my health, all of my friends, and hurt a lot of relationships in my family and everything. And that was because I just blindly followed one leader. I would suggest, and this is how I kind of run my life now, which I'm not saying that I have like all of this mass success, but I feel like I'm doing a lot better now, is if you run your life with kind of a board of directors. You have multiple people in your life that speak on multiple aspects of your life. Some people might have really great marriages. Some people might have really great parenting styles, really great finances, and maybe successful in the career that you are particularly pursuing. And you can get information and get advice from certain people, and then get a second opinion. I mean, on every big move, on every big purchase, any big diagnosis, you get a second opinion, right? You're about to make a huge life change. You should get a second opinion. And preferably don't go to the next person in your upline to get that second opinion. Get a second opinion from someone who is not in that industry, or get that second opinion from someone who doesn't actually have any financial investment in your life or any like ulterior motive, and just hear other perspectives. My biggest admiration in terms of like YouTube viewers are the people who, number one, are part of my squad. Okay. Squad loyalty. But also, I really admire the people who are in multi-level marketing or who are considering multi-level marketing, and they click on an anti-MLM video, because I think that's really smart. Like, I think that is a very wise thing for you to do, to listen to the pros and the cons and not just trust blindly to this guru who promised that they would be able to coach you into everything and like into success in everything. So that's like my main point of the video, is that get yourself a board of directors. I started my board of directors with someone on the internet, Amy Landino, because I knew I wanted to do YouTube. I knew I wanted to document my health journey and stuff. And so I really clicked with Amy Landino and all of her information. Now she doesn't run my life. I've read her books. I listened to her podcast. I watch her videos on YouTube, and like, I consume her content. I am a very serious Amy Landino follower. Okay. However, I don't trust everything that I have to her, and she's not the only person I have ever listened to for advice on, video making or productivity or anything like that. It's just that she's part of my mental board of directors for people that I would really trust their opinion based on the results that they have in their life. Now, a note on being able to actually see the fruit on the tree, okay? Because I'm not going to spill all the tea, okay? I have so much tea, and I'm sorry that I can't spill it all on a public platform, but I will say, regarding multi-level marketing, regarding religion, regarding friendships, just because someone says that they are happy and that they have achieved the optimal result does not mean they actually are happy and have that optimal result. Just because they say that they are happy, like have a happy marriage, anybody could pretend to be happy in marriage for a limited time every week just to keep the facade going, okay? Anybody could pretend to be faithful to their spouse for an hour a week. Anyone can pretend to be your most loyal friend and not gossip about you behind your back while they're not behind your back. While they are facing you, they can pretend that they don't actually talk about you behind your back. You know what I mean? You could try to take things at face value. And I'm not saying, well, you know what? Maybe I am jaded. And actually, maybe I have lost faith in humanity. But you know what? You will... Here's the thing. I honestly, I think one of my biggest frustrations in filming this video is that I can't actually tell you like top 10 ways to spot a quack, because they're everywhere and some of them are good. Like my upline was freaking good. Like he was a good quack. Like the charisma, a 10. The deep, soulful, meaningful eye contact, unreal. You know, he really... Oof. And for some reason, it's like, I have thought of like gurus and stuff. It's like, for some reason, I never really, the phrase a wolf in sheep's clothing never really clicked for me, because I'm like, well, yeah, I'd be able to spot a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? No, bitch. Well, he looking like a sheep. Of course, you're not going to be able to tell he's a wolf just by looking at him. And unfortunately, without losing all faith in humanity, it does, some of them get you, you know? You think they're a sheep and you really just can't tell until they are too close and they've got you in their claws or whatever, jaws. Anyway. I'm not saying, here's number one, it is not your fault. It is, however, your responsibility when you find that you have trusted someone who is not worthy of your trust, okay? You did not make that happen. You did not cause that person to lie to you. You did not cause that person to build all of your trust and gain access to all of your inner workings of your life and then dash it to pieces. You are not at fault for that. However, you are responsible for picking your life back up and figuring it out, okay? So that's part of what we're doing here on this channel, okay? We can be upset and go on rants all we want to about stupid people in the past who have taken a lot from us. But we are also responsible for picking up our own mess and cleaning it up and doing better for the world, and also helping other people pick their lives up and moving forward, okay? I think I'm talking more to myself than I'm talking to you, but we're on the same page here, right? Anyway, long rant, but anybody could write a word of encouragement for $1, okay? It does not mean that it's actually going to help you or give you the tools that you need to actually succeed. Anybody can flex by saying that they have all of this money and they drive this car by going on a test drive in a car for like at a dealership and then taking a picture like they actually own the car. Anybody can do that, okay? This is the 21st century. It's 2021, people. We should not be fooled by simple flexes. We need to ask deeper questions, and we need to expect more transparency from the people who are asking for total transparency from us, for total trust, and for us to hand over our budgets. You know, my upline had me budgeted down to $30 a month of discretionary spending. And when I say that, I feel like a slap in the face, like, dang, girl, you let somebody budget your money down to $30 a month of discretionary spending? You let that happen, Sarah. You let that happen. Like, yes, they're very bad people for doing that, but you let that happen. You need to ask more questions, okay? And stop buying stupid books on Target, the front rack at Target that makes it look like they're really successful. You just wasted 250 pages of time. But ask deeper questions. I don't know, we might be afraid to ask questions that might seem rude, like, can I see an income disclosure statement? Like, can I see receipts? Can I see what your budget looks like? Can I see where you live? Can I see what you drive? Can I see, like, okay, you want me to trust everything. You want me to, like, hand everything over. But can I see the fruit on the tree? Or are you just going to tell me what the fruit on the tree is and I'm supposed to believe it? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay? And let's be smart, Robert Kiyosaki, maybe great investing advice. Frankly, I'm not that advanced yet. I can't even tell you whether or not he gives good financial advice. However, I can say that if the very basis of his most popular book is that you don't listen to someone who doesn't actually have success in the field you want to succeed in, and then he wrote another book about a field that he has never even been in at all, he's just trying to make $1. Okay, sis? Like, stop buying self-help books from quacks and just, do the work. Most of us actually know what we should do to get to the top. We don't actually need some guru to tell us what we need to do to save money, what we need to do to lose weight. We don't actually need someone who's going to, like, give us the key. We actually know the secrets, but the secrets aren't really convenient. So most of us just really need to, like, set down the self-help books and just put a tiny little thing in action, But we don't want to hear that. We want to hear that because it makes us uncomfortable. And we would rather spend $30 a week on a book, whichever book of the week it is, that's going to make us feel better, even though it doesn't actually improve our lives. Okay? And if that's you, sis, then own it. Just know. Just know you're not going to get anywhere if you don't take actual action. You know what I mean? You just got to accept that you are just buying stupid, inspirational, motivational stuff from quacks who know what you want to hear, and they would be willing to write it in a book so that they can make $1 and you can have your ears tickled. Anyway, that was a lot. That was a lot of anger. Thank you for letting me express myself. I really appreciate you guys. Let me know if you did glean anything interesting from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or any books that you would say is like, this was actually a really good read. Because a lot of books they do offer really good information, but if you receive the book from someone who has an ulterior motive and wants you to, like, read this book so that you could get this lesson out of it and give them more of your time and money, you just got to be aware of when you are being duped. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Watch my other videos. They're a lot more calm and probably a lot more organized. And if you were wondering throughout this video, is that snow in the background in April in Wisconsin? Yes. Yes, it is. So, thus explaining my mood. Okay, I'll see you Sunday for more of my health content, and then Wednesday for more success content, okay?